This is People versus Aaron Lewis Brown. The file number is 222106SM. Mr. Brown is here with his attorney, Mr. Luke Knopfinger. Also present is Mr. Keith Stickley, the Chief Public Defender. Also, the complaining witness, Anita Green, is present, which I'm glad that she's here. Mr. Brown pled no contest to a domestic violence charge last week. I had some concerns about his mental state, but I did not feel that he was incompetent. I think he knows what the proceeding is. He knows what the charge is. He knows what the function of the lawyer and the judge is. And he entered a plea of no contest to bring resolution to this matter. So I accepted the plea. The question is what to do with him. I sent an email to Covered Bridge Services, who was providing mental health services at the jail till today. Pivotal Community Mental Health for St. Joseph County takes over with those services tomorrow, October 1st. I sent a second email asking for some help and recommendation, and nobody ever responded. So I think we're between the previous service provider and the new service provider. Mr. Brown, we had a couple of long discussions. You were at Melrod Ministries. You had your own apartment. You had your life in Grand Rapids. And then you got picked up and brought down here on this 2-year-old charge. Right now, you have no source of income, nowhere to go. You've lost your placement at Melrod, and in my opinion, you could greatly benefit from some mental health services. You had indicated that you would like to go to your grandmother's house, and we discussed that. I know who your grandma is. I knew who your grandpa was. I don't think that's a good idea. In fact, I don't think your grandma wants you to go there. What I didn't want to do is dump you out on the front steps of a jailhouse with nowhere to go and no plan. Well, I haven't received any feedback from Covered Bridge, and Pivotal starts tomorrow. Having said all that, and I don't have any input from the prosecutor. Mr. Knopfinger, I'll defer to you. What's your position here?
Thanks, Judge. Mr. Brown has pretty considerable jail credit. I would note that the offense is October of 2022. He hasn't had any pending charges since then. Asked the court to consider that. I do appreciate the court sort of considering Mr. Brown's where will he go once he walks out of jail. But I do think that he should be let out of jail, not because he shouldn't have to explain where he's going to go to get out of jail. I do appreciate the court's concern, but all things considered, Judge, I do think that time served would be appropriate here. I understand he had mentioned that he'd like to go to his grandmother's house. There was an email exchange saying, no, you're unwelcome there. I understand he has mental health issues. I agree with the court that he's competent. I agree there's some underlying issues. I would ask the court to sentence to time served. He'll have to find his way. He understands that. Yet I do appreciate the court's attempt to address maybe some underlying issues. Again, I note this is from October of 2022.
The complaining witness, Anita Green, is present. Ms. Green, would you have a seat right up here? Good morning.
Good morning.
You're Anita Green?
Yes.
And Aaron's mother was your twin sister?
Yes.
And his grandmother that he's referring to is your mother?
Right.
And the Green kids and the Evans and the Brown kids were all like this. Your kids all grew up together.
Yes.
And so you've known Aaron since he was born. And I know you have some concerns about this. What would you like me to know?
I just like you to know that Aaron, Aaron was my baby. I mean, I kept him a lot. I would rescue him from his parents. He lived with me for several years. And then all of a sudden he went to Florida and I don't know what happened down there, but I don't know if he just started acting really weird. Calling. Then I find out that he got a hold of one of my credit cards and he maxed that out and he was homeless. So somebody brought him back to Three Rivers and just dumped him off at my house after I told him he couldn't stay at my house. But my husband and I said, well, he don't have anywhere to go. It's wintertime. We'll let him stay. He stole from me. He was very disrespectful to me. He called the police on me almost every day while I was at work, trying to get me arrested.
Now, you're a nurse, correct?
No, I used to work at the hospital in the emergency room. Okay. Now I work at the receptionist. And then one night I asked him to do something, he didn't do it, and he just got abusive with me. He just like,
well, so that's sort of water under the bridge. The question is, what do we do now?
I don't know. Aaron can't come to my house. Aaron cannot come to my mom's house. My mom's a nervous wreck. What I would like to see for Aaron to be in some kind of group home, get his meds straight, try to get himself together because he has no one. His other side of the family doesn't want to be bothered with him.
Yeah, he's got some brothers and they don't want to do anything with him.
No, he's totally humiliated his sister. He called her job and made a big old saying she's sex trafficking her kids and all this, that, and the other. And so he's burnt that bridge. He's burned his bridge with my brother in Atlanta. He has nowhere to go around here. Nowhere. No one will take him because he's so unpredictable and bizarre.
Well, he's not evil, and he's got a kind heart.
He does.
He has a mental illness.
Yes, he does. And I understand that.
All right. Aaron, what's your position here? Aaron, you got anything you want to say to me? Well, you were are you uncomfortable talking with your aunt here? You just don't have anything else you want to say?
I've informed him too that his Fifth Amendment continues to the rent.
All right, well, let me ask this. Where would you like to go? All right, well, all right. As I indicated, Covered Bridge stops today. Pivotal starts tomorrow. And Luke, I appreciate your position. You're representing the defendant. But I've got to look at the broader picture. Let's see how much credit Aaron actually has. I think he had a couple days in Kalamazoo. Boy, they don't do their alphabetical very well. Joshua Brown, Matthew Brown, Aaron Brown. You've been in our jail for 11 days and a couple days in Grand Rapids. How long were you in Grand Rapids? 2 days? That sound right? All right. Well, Aaron, I liked it better when you were talking to me, but we had some pretty good discussions, but I am worried about you. I'm going to put you on probation with really not a lot of conditions, but the probation allows me to amend the sentence. I'm going to order 60 days jail credit.
Judge, I don't think Mr. Brown wants to be on probation.
I don't care.
I would object, Judge. I do believe case law says that a defendant has to consent to a term of probation.
I can't alter the sentence unless I place him on probation.
Understand.
And what I'm looking for is a placement for him. And if they have a placement, then I can amend the sentence, but you object. So I'm going to give him 60 days in jail credit 13 without the ability to amend it. So I'm not doing a probation. Otherwise, if Pivotal found a place for him next week, I could change the sentence and let him out. No, he's going to do 60 days minus good time, which is 50 days. We'll waive the fine and costs, $125 of
Judge,
costs.
I really hope, I don't really want to get too litigious here. I understand the court's position. I hope that Mr. Brown gets the help that he needs. I don't think that given his circumstances that an extended jail stay from an incident back in October 2022, whether or not 60 days in the county jail would sort of fit the crime, so to speak. I would also ask the court to maybe defer to the complainant as well if it's going to render a sentence like that. It is up to Mr. Brown whether or not he wants to do a term of probation. And quite frankly, Judge, I don't know if the facts here, every case is separate, but I don't know if the facts here taken would render a 60-day jail stay appropriate, especially given Mr. Brown's mental health condition.
Yes.
When Aaron is out of jail, Aaron self-medicates. He drinks and he smokes weed and he gets mean.
All right. Thank you. I tried to give myself the option to let him out as early as Friday into a group home, but he doesn't object to being on probation. I had 60 days at the outset with the hope that I'd get him out of here by the end of the week, but you object to probation, so I can't amend the sentence. Aaron, if you'll answer this, would you allow me to place you on probation so I can see whether I can find a placement for you?
There is a placement that my mother has built for me in Vicksburg that I can stay at.
All right, will you allow me to put you on probation to explore that? Yes, all right. I'm gonna do a 12-month probation, 60 days jail, credit 13. Fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. Pivotal starts tomorrow as our jail liaison. I'm gonna get with the new lady, Stacy Linehan, and see if I can figure out where to go. But I can't alter the sentence, Ms. Green, unless it's on probation. So otherwise, once I order it, it's just it. Mr. Knopfinger, again, is looking forward in representing the defendant's interests, but I don't think it's even in his best interest to him to be out standing on the front steps of the jail at noon today with nowhere to go and not a penny in his pocket. So I want something. Also, Aaron, I would think that you would be eligible for Social Security disability, which would give you some income. Right now, you just have nothing. And perhaps we could pursue that also. Anyway, the fine is $125 or 2 days. I'm gonna call Pivotal today and ask them to meet with you and see if we can figure out a place for you to go. You don't have an evil heart. You are a kind, generous kid who now, as happens sometimes with young men, gets schizophrenia in their 20s. And it turns their world upside down. But I'm going to remit you back to the sheriff. I'm going to try to find a place to put him. Ms. Green, I suggest if you want to know more, you check in with a victim advocate at the prosecutor's office. All right, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, let's hope we can find someplace that he can make his way in the world.
What you just witnessed wasn't just a sentencing hearing, it was a judge trying to hold together a life that had already come apart at the seams. Aaron Lewis Brown pled no contest to a domestic violence charge stemming from an incident back in October 2022. By the time he stood before this court, he had no income, no housing, no placement, and no family willing to take him in. His aunt, the very woman he had victimized, sat in that courtroom not out of anger, but out of grief. She described a young man she once raised like her own, who somewhere along the way lost himself entirely. Her words weren't a condemnation. They were a eulogy for the person he used to be. The judge here did something you don't always see on the bench. He slowed down. He reached out to mental health providers. He tried to build a bridge between a broken system and a broken man. When the defense objected to probation, the judge didn't just rubber stamp a sentence and move on. He pivoted, asked Aaron directly, and carved out a path: 12 months probation, 60 days jail credit, with the door left open for a placement that might actually give this man a fighting chance. The court flagged possible schizophrenia. It raised the prospect of Social Security disability. It refused to simply dump Aaron on the courthouse steps with nothing. This case is a reminder that the courtroom isn't always about punishment. Sometimes it's about the gap between what the law can do and what a human being actually needs, and the rare judge willing to stand in that gap. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.